Hi folks, here Eduardo Bolsonaro again, bringing to you what is going on in Brazil and in the rural region of Latin America.
I know his son, and that's probably why they did it.
Brazilian Chamber of Deputies, Eduardo Bolsonaro.
He's a brilliant, wonderful young man. He did it. He's outstanding. I'm very happy with that appointment.
The son of the president, who has been fantastic. Would you please stand up? The job you've done during a very tough period of time is just fantastic.
The first news that we have today is not a good news. Is the one who is appointed by President Lula da Silva for our Supreme Court. We have the second justice from the Supreme Court getting retired when they complete 75 years old. It's mandatory, they have to retire. So now Lula is appointing his justice minister, someone very well known for his persecution against conservatives. I will let you know a little bit about this guy. I'm please asking for my friends here from the edition to show you a little bit about what Flávio Dino is talking about freedom, communism, and some other issues. Take a look by your own.
Esse tempo da autorregulação, da ausência de regulação, da liberdade de expressão como um valor absoluto, que é uma fraude, que é uma falcatrua, esse tempo acabou no Brasil.
So is someone that do not trust in free speech? He very likely has the same thinking of some of the big techs in the Silicon Valley, thinking that we have to really censorship and we really have to censor all of the hate speech, all of the fake news, that in the end of the day, is only an excuse to censor the conservative and the opposition, and is someone that thinks that he's bringing terrorists to jail. When you talk about the January 8th invasions that we had here in Brazil, it was a protest that went far away, but it was made usually by regular people, by people that there is a very clean story in the police. If you do a background check, you see that's not a people that are used, connected with organized crime or something like that. And on the other hand, Flávio Dino and his friends, like Celso Amorim, which is the special advisor for Lula da Silva for the foreign affairs, is a man that already wrote a good note in the beginning of a book, a pro-Hamas book. That's why when Lula da Silva started to talk about the Hamas, he criticized a little bit, only to say that, I'm criticizing Hamas, I'm condemning what they are doing in Israel now. But the 95% of the rest of the time that he has in interviews and in speech, he started to say that Israel is a genocide, Israel is doing bad things, and all of the left-wing narratives, all right? These guys, they really support Hamas, they support FARC, remembering that FARC, the guerrillas from Colombia, they were already together with Lula da Silva, Fidel Castro, in 1990, in the creation of the Foro de São Paulo group. By the way, you have a very good video of Ben Shapiro talking about the Foro de São Paulo. I suggest you to do a research on YouTube. You are going to find that very easily. And this is the danger that is always here in our region. Remembering that a justice of the Brazilian Supreme Court, he stays there until he completes 75 years old. And I don't know when, but for sure until 2026, when we will have the next election, for sure until that, we will not have a new justice of the Supreme Court, unless someone that now is in the Supreme Court dies. So Lula da Silva would have the chance to appoint one more justice for the court. And I also have to say that before Flávio Dino take his place as a justice of the Supreme Court, he needs to be approved in the Senate. To be honest, I don't think that conservatives or the right-wing people have energy enough to block this appointment. For sure, I will work as much as possible exposing who is Flávio Dino, the Justice Minister of Lula da Silva that he just appointed for the Supreme Court. I will do my homework, but it will be very hard to block him. And if it happens, it will be the first time in history that the Senate will block someone appointed by the president for the Supreme Court. So it's a very hard thing to do. We have a little bit of hope because a couple of weeks ago, the Senate rejected someone that Lula da Silva appointed for the defensory. Defensory here in Brazil is the institution that defends people who don't have money enough to pay for a lawyer and some other collective rights. So this is the defensory. I don't know if we have something like that in the United States or somewhere else, but here in Brazil we do have. And Lula da Silva appointed someone, a lawyer, that got reproved in the Senate. It was a message from the Senate to Lula da Silva. Usually they do that. They send, the senators, they send this kind of message to Lula da Silva when they want to, I don't know, someone be appointed in a public company, or when they want a group to appoint someone else in one of the ministries. Remembering that Lula da Silva, I don't know, he has almost 37 or almost 40 ministries. Is a very, very big administration. But on the other hand, we have a good news. Argentina just elected the liberal economist Javier Milei. Javier Milei, I usually compare with my father, and if there is something that connects very well both, is because both are anti-leftists. Both know the danger of the communism. And Lula da Silva and his partner from the Foro de São Paulo, they are old school communists. Javier Milei is a libertarian that is doing steps to meet the conservatives. Bolsonaro, my father, on the other side, he's originally a conservative that made some steps for classical liberal economy. But in the end of the day, both are very good people. They are not the same, for sure. That's very natural. I'm not even the same of my father. But what I want to say is there is hope in Argentina. Argentina is going to open their market. Milei is going to reduce as much as possible the taxes. He's not a crazy guy. He's a very smart, very intelligent guy that almost with no infrastructure, he became president of Argentina. Argentina is like the same size and same population of Germany, and they have a very big potential. 100 years ago, Argentina was, if not the first, maybe the second GDP of the world. They were doing great until the middle of the last century, when it became something called socialism, and they had a reform in their constitution. And then from this moment on, they start to go down. And now Milei, he's the one that has to bring Argentina back again to their great times. He has to make Argentina great again. And all the ingredients are there. The people, the farmers, the natural resources. So he has a way to do, to bring back Argentina. But the problem is he has to do that very fast. And the people here in Latin America, usually they are not much patient with politicians. Even Milei, who is an outsider, now he's a politician. But I would like to ask you for as much support possible to Javier Milei. It's not good times in Argentina. Argentina now they have an inflation of 140% yearly. 140% yearly. 1 month of inflation in Argentina is the same of the inflation that we have here in Brazil for the whole year here in Brazil. And they have a very big, very large debt. That's why Javier Milei is also in the United States, for sure, showing who he is, because there is a lot of doubts and curiosity around his name, around him. And I'm praying for God he does a good mandate as president. He's starting talking about the privatization of YPF, which is the biggest distributor, is the biggest fuel state company of Argentina. They dominate 80% of the Argentinian market, and Milei is saying that he's going to privatize this company. Only to give one example that what he's going to do. Hope God he's going to do that, because some of the issues for sure he need to be approved in the Congress. But in the Congress, he can build the majority. He's already building the majority, and this is one good point that he had a second term in Argentina, because it made Milei to get connected with Patricia Bullrich and the former president of Argentina, Mauricio Macri, which are the leaders of the PRO. PRO is the center-right party in Argentina. So if Milei, he can build this majority, he will have much more. He will be much more comfortable in the Congress than the former president Mauricio Macri. Mauricio Macri, he had a lot of problems with the Congress, including pushing forward the reforms that he would like to do. So Mauricio Macri, as a strategy, what he did first is he tried first to go into the Congress with soft issues, trying to build this majority with the time. And then from the midterm ahead, he tried to push forward to implement some bigger reforms. This strategy failed. Mauricio Macri, he made a very good job, but he wasn't successful in the economy part, and it opened the possibility to the left to lie to the people and go back with their easy speech, trying to say that he's going to take care of the poor people. He were looking for the social area. And at the end of the day, they left Argentina with 140% yearly inflation. So I'm very glad that Javier Milei is together with Mauricio Macri and Patricia Bullrich building this majority in the Congress, and hope that Argentina is going to be rescued from the left. Javier Milei, he also has the experience of Trump in the United States, of Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil. So he is a very smart and very intelligent man. For sure, he will learn about the mistakes of each government, each right-wing government that we had here in the region. And everybody is cheering for Argentina. I think it's the right time that Argentina has to unite the country and bring back again the great economy that they have. My friends, I think that's what I would like to do, to talk with you, remembering that here we bring everything that the world needs to know. Thank you. Deus, Pátria, Família e Liberdade.